Hello again, Blackbird here. East vs West 23 is happening in a few days from now on, and it's wrapping up to be one of the most incredible East vs West cards yet. If you want to buy the tickets or get the merch, then make sure to click the link in the description below. With that, you'll get a 5% discount. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps me to support myself. So thank you very much. Let's go to the video. And I think it's a good idea to try to predict all of the outcomes of the upcoming matches. First of all, let's talk about Duvan Bornman versus Nykonenko. I don't have too much info on Nykonenko, but he seems to rely a lot on his raw power. He's a very big guy, seems very strong. I'm not sure about his technical prowess though. Duvan, on the other hand, is quite methodical in trying to attack the wrist every round. When he fought against Porkchop, every round he got closer and closer to cracking that wrist, and in the last round it was actually really close from him to turn the match around. So I believe that eventually he will tire Nykonenko out, he will get the wrist, and once he has the wrist, Nykonenko won't have anywhere to go. So I'm going 3-2 for Duvan. Moving on, it's Artem Samson versus Aleksi Zavrashvili. Zavrashvili has won the Georgian Nationals. He seems to be a very proficient hook puller, but on the other hand, Artem Samson looks to be in a terrific shape and is a great top roller. From what I've seen from him, I actually believe he is just right now at the top of the 75 kilo class. Only needs to prove himself with matches at East vs West, and this is his first chance. And I believe he is gonna completely slam Aleksi. I've seen his practice pulls with Mindaugas and Giannis, and at minimum he looks to be even to these athletes. Of course, with practice pulls you never know how much the person is trying, what his level of fatigue is, but just moving Mindaugas like that seems absolutely crazy to see, and that's why I believe he's gonna win this match. He's gonna be a level above. I really think he has the potential to reach the top someday, so I'm going 3-0 for him. Moving on, it's Zurab Tabveridze versus Maayan Shterengas. Zurab is a very proven arm wrestler. He is known for great inside pulling, ton of side pressure. On the other hand, Maayan is new to the top league, to East vs West. He's had one match so far, which he won, and he seems to be good at gaining hand control, and once he has it, he has a ton of side to finish the match. Simply because of how proven these athletes are, I'm gonna go with Zurab. I'm gonna go with him winning like 3-1, but that's simply on the fact that he has a lot more time at the top of the sport. So maybe Maayan will surprise me and many others, but for now I think Zurab is the favorite. Next up, it's Riekard Bornman versus Lars Rorbakken. Riekard Bornman has risen to the top of the sport at an unprecedented rate. I think I'm gonna check, but I'm pretty sure he's like 21 years old at the moment, 22, and he has already had 3 wins at East vs West, and it wasn't against no-name athletes. His last match was against Schoolboy, where he dominated, and Schoolboy is likely on the verge of cracking the top 10 in the world. Lars has been in the game for a long time, and for him it always seems like he has 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win, 1 loss, and he's just like below the top. He isn't at the peak of the sport, he's just right below that world-class level. Initially, I predicted that Riekard would take this match. Simply the structure seems too dominant, but after I've seen the East vs West 22 extended pass, where Lars actually managed to crack the wrist of Iraklis Virakashvili and even Alex Kordecha, I'm not sure if Riekard can get through that. You know, this is a match where one athlete is going with the fundamentals and the other one has those extreme styles of arm wrestling, you know, transitioning from, like Michael taught, from a king's move to a flop press. And honestly, I don't think that Riekard can get through that king's move. That's why I am predicting this match to go 3-1 in the favor of Lars. Next up, it's a women's match. Egle, Vaitkutė, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that horribly, versus Asta, Sari. I honestly think that Egle is simply built different, and it'll be 3-0 for her. I see her as like the female version of Duvan. She has incredible strength, but just cannot get up to the weight to compete with number 1 and number 2 in the world, which is of course Barbora and Gabi. I see her as the proper number 3, and I do not think that anyone who is close to her weight can match her. The next match is gonna be quite interesting, I think. Betkili Oniani versus Rustam Babayev. Rustam is a legend of the sport. He is a very decorated athlete, has won basically everything there is to win. But the thing is, this match is on the left arm, and I only know the level of Rustam on the right. Left is unproven for him, I think. And Betkili Oniani, on the other hand, is holding the number 2 spot in the world, just below Oleg Petrenko. He has defeated Oleg Zhok, which is an incredible feat, and I honestly think that he also has better endurance than Rustam. I have the opinion that once Betkili gets a stop, Rustam is gonna get out in the end and he's gonna lose. So I'm gonna predict this match that in the first round maybe Rustam will win, but eventually over the rounds Betkili is just gonna get him. He's gonna stop him, he's gonna get it inside, of course. It'll be inside probably. Would be very surprised if Rustam goes for a top roll, and even if he does, Betkili has that great flop press. So I'm gonna go 3-1 for Betkili. Next up, it's Aymeric Pradines versus Matt Mask. From what I've seen, Aymeric is likely gonna wanna go into a hook, although I've seen him top roll as well, but against someone with a long lever like Matt Mask, I definitely think that he will want to go inside, but I am unsure if he'll be able to. I do not think that sucking Matt Mask inside is easy, and I believe he's gonna take Aymeric's wrist and take the match. Unless Aymeric can somehow pull out a flop press, Matt Mask will win 3-0. The next match is another female match. It's between Ayena, Takenaka and Melek Sahin. Melek has completely steamrolled the WAF Championships in 2025 to beat Esra Kires, and based on that I am quite confident that she's gonna have more raw power than Ayena and is gonna take this match dominantly 3-0. Now we're moving on to one of the greatest matches in my opinion, and that's Alizhan Muratov versus Artem Morozov. Taking into consideration the unparalleled explosivity of Muratov, his incredible containment, ability to get the match inside, speed, while also having very good endurance, I simply do not see a way for Morozov to get the win. The only way I can see Morozov winning this match is if he cracks the wrist of Muratov, but I do not see that very likely, as he is also mainly a hook puller. Also an important factor is the injury he sustained against Vital Laletin. This is his comeback match, and I do not think it's a good idea to have a comeback match against likely one of the most explosive and greatest hook pullers, I would even say, of all time. So I'm gonna go 3-0 for Muratov. I don't think Morozov is gonna stop it, and I also do not see him winning on endurance like he did against Ivan Matyushenko. Next up, a very interesting match for me. I even made a video just about it. Mindaugas Tarasaitis versus Artur Makarov. In my opinion, there are two main forces in this match which will be opposing each other, and that's Makarov's wrist and Mindaugas' low hand, Mindaugas' back pressure and pronation. I think that Mindaugas has definitely taken something from his last match and kept improving. He's gonna be on a higher level than he was before. And I believe that when we have a wrist versus low hand battle, the low hand is favored in the endurance. I think Mindaugas is gonna take the wrist of Makarov, and from then on he'll be in control. So I'm gonna go 4-2 Mindaugas. This next one is also a crazy match. A title shot for the 85 kilo class, David Samusha versus Alexander Teliatnik. I believe there are only two outcomes to this match. The first outcome is that Alexander Teliatnik smashes David 4 times in a row, 4 flash pins, and he takes the win. And the other outcome is that David Samusha gets a stop and eventually just tires Alexander out. I truly think that David Samusha has one of the best, if not the best, endurance in the class, and it'll be a battle between explosive power and simply just great endurance and very good stickiness. And honestly, I am convinced that Teliatnik is gonna win this match. Of course, I'm a bit biased here because he is a member of the same arm wrestling club where I train, but simply from all the feats I've seen from him, I do believe that his power level is on somewhere else, and he's gonna win 4 times in a row. 4 pins, it'll be a win. And a new 85 kilo champ will be ruling the league. Now we're moving on to the main event. And the first match of the main event is Dave Chafee versus Ivan Matyushenko. I am honestly super torn on this match. I've been thinking about it for a long time. I've even pondered about making a prediction video just on this match, but in the end I was just too unsure to have an opinion about it. But after thinking about it for some time, I do believe that Dave Chafee's raw power may be a bit higher, but Ivan Matyushenko is simply great at sucking his opponents in a hook. And I believe the deep hook isn't the ideal position for Dave. I'm not sure if he can roll out of that position every time. And since it's a best of 7, I'm gonna give this match to Ivan simply based on his stickiness. I think he may have a bit better endurance than Dave and is gonna take that match with the score being around 4-1 or 4-2. Now the second match of the main card is Leonidas Arcona versus Brian Shaw. I've already made a video on this match, and my opinion still hasn't changed. I think that, of course, Brian Shaw is the 4-time world's strongest man. He's probably gonna reach a very high level in the sport, but for now I think Leonidas, as the more experienced athlete, is just on a bit different level. He out-top rolled and out-hooked John Brzenk before losing to Duvan and taking a break from the sport. The way I imagine the match going is, first it's gonna be top roll versus top roll, and Brian is gonna eventually lose his wrist. He's gonna be forced to go into a flop press, and he may succeed at flopping, but in the next rounds, when he attempts that again, I think Leonidas is gonna suck him in the hook. I just think that Leonidas is gonna be simply too much. I'm going to go 4-1 for him. And now it's the main match. The match everyone's been waiting for. Devon Larratt versus Vitaly Laletin. This match is probably gonna be an absolute war. And here's how I see it playing out. So I believe that Vitaly's side pressure is gonna be more dominant, but I'm not sure if he can get access to that back pressure if he loses the wrist. Because it's highly likely that Devon is gonna crack Vitaly's wrist. But the question is how far from the pin pad that crack will happen. But considering Devon's stickiness and back pressure is likely much higher on his right and on the left, and on the left he managed to crack his wrist right when Vitaly drove to the side. I believe that he's gonna crack it right when Vitaly just tries going to the side, and his back pressure is gonna hold enough so that Vitaly cannot get his shoulder behind and execute a proficient flop press. And once that happens and Vitaly is bumped off his own shoulder, Devon will be fully in control and will take that match. So I'm gonna go around 4-1 for Devon. So these are my predictions for the EVW 23 card. Again, if you wanna get the tickets in person or get the merch, make sure to use the link in the description for a 5% discount. And that's everything from me for today. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.